Hey guys, what is up? Happy Sunday. Hope you had a really good weekend. I know I have, but it never lasts long enough, so I'm just enjoying my last day off. I made a new YouTube video today. You guys might have seen it. I just barely posted it. It's on nightmares, what they are, and how we can use them for life transformation. Super awesome. Definitely go check it out if you haven't. The reason why I think this is important is because everybody has nightmares at least, at some point in their life. And usually we just run away from our nightmares, but they actually hold so much value. If we were able to get lucid in our nightmares, we would find out everything that we're holding within our subconscious that we don't realize. I know I've talked about this before, but the nightmares actually represent our shadow self, which is everything that we deny, suppress, or disown. So this could be hidden talents that you don't bring to light. This could be memories from your childhood. This could be things that you're embarrassed about, or maybe it's your inner anger or your inner child. Anything like that, really anything at all that could be held within our subconscious is shown to us within the dream state, and especially in nightmares. The nightmare or the dream works in images, and so everything that happens within our dream is actually our subconscious trying to tell us something. It obviously can't write us letters, and so it will show us images. And so it's our job to actually work through these images and understand what they mean and how we can use them to transform our lives. So for a lot of you, you might have remembered having recurring nightmares as a child. Maybe not everybody has, but I know that I have, and I never really knew what those meant. I'd be able to get lucid in those dreams because it's probably happened for a lot of you as well, where you're in a nightmare and you're trying to wake yourself up. That, in fact, is a lucid dream because you know that you are dreaming. And so, if we can manage to do that again and bring awareness to the dream, we can actually find out directly from our nightmares what they represent and how we can use them to change the way that we're thinking and that we're feeling. So what you're going to want to do, hi everyone that's joining, nice to have you, good to be, and also feel free to ask any questions, you guys, if you have any questions about any of this. But the nightmare, if we were to get lucid in the nightmare, we can ask the nightmare directly what it means. So instead of just running away from something, and not dealing with it, basically what the nightmare is doing is it's like, okay, see you next week, because we didn't resolve what we were, what the night or what the dream was trying to tell us, through these images, and so it's just going to keep coming back later. So it's really important to figure out what the nightmare represents, and that way it won't be reoccurring anymore. So for me, a lot of my nightmares stem from experiences from my childhood or thoughts that I had about myself, or things that I went through, and I wasn't willing to face those, and so they got stored into my subconscious. Just because we don't think of something or we don't try to resolve something while we're awake doesn't mean that it goes away. It actually gets stored into our subconscious in a deeper part of our brain, and then we just have to resolve it later. But the good thing is the subconscious is very intelligent, so it's going to bring forth those issues within the dream, and we can actually resolve them from there. So for me, what I do is I obviously practice reality checks. I can get lucid on a consistent basis because of the awareness that I've built around my physical existence. So when I go into my dreaming reality, it's easy to carry that awareness with me because I practice it during the day. That's what you're going to want to do with reality checks and, the mindfulness practice that we talked about, and even some meditation before bed, even just 5 minutes if you can. And what this is going to do is going to create a lot of awareness within the dream. That way, when you are dreaming, you are aware and critical of your surroundings, and you are easily able to tell that you are dreaming, and you are able to explore this vivid reality that is created just by your mind. And again, guys, it feels just like real life, if not more real, if you can imagine that. So having the freedom to explore this reality while you're sleeping and be able to change your life when you wake up, that is something that is absolutely incredible. And that is why I teach lucid dreaming and I teach astral projection, because these altered states of consciousness have so much value. Our conscious mind is only 5% of our brain, so we're literally operating on 5% of our brain every day. So when we go into the lucid state or the dreaming state in general, we have access to 95% more of our brain. So you can imagine the healing that could take place there. So once you get lucid in your dream, if you are running away from something, or you see something that's fearful, or you have a feeling not to go towards something, that is a very good sign that it is your shadow side, and that we need to embrace it, and we need to go towards it, and we need to show it love. And so what is going to happen is, as soon as you turn around and you show the nightmare love, your subconscious sees that on a much deeper level than we do. We just see it as embracing something that scares us. But what we're doing is actually resolving that issue that we had, and we will wake up and we will not have that issue anymore. So say that I met my anxiety. I was really trying not to feel my anxiety. I was running away from my anxiety. What's that going to do? That's going to make something in my dream appear that is going to cause me to be fearful, but it's the archetype of our anxiety. Hey Amber, so good to see you. Hey Louie, awesome. Thank you guys for joining. Feel free to ask questions again. So if you're running away from something, whether it's your anxiety or a situation, you try not to think about it, like, oh my God, let me just forget about it. It might leave your conscious mind, the 5%, but then it's going to show up again in your dreams, because that's 95% of our brain. So once you embrace this, once you go towards what's scaring you in the dream and you embrace it and you show it light, it obviously can't be in the shadow side of ourselves because it's illuminated, right? We illuminated it, we embraced it, we showed that part of our self-love, and therefore our subconscious is going to stop pressing those like images and those dreams on us because we resolved it within our dream. And it's a lot easier to do this within our dream than in waking reality, because what happens if we try to solve our anxiety when we're asleep, or when we're living our day-to-day lives, or depression? The only thing that we can do is try not to think about it, right? We have to distract ourselves. Maybe some of us have to take medication. Maybe we have to rely on certain things so we don't feel that anxiety. But if we practice it, bringing it to light within the lucid dream, and we ask our anxiety why it's there, where it stemmed from, what it represents, and what's the easiest way to not feel that anxiety anymore, it will tell you, it will speak words to you and tell you exactly what you need to do. And a lot of the time, you don't even have to do anything. Just the fact that you're noticing it and you're embracing it is enough for that nightmare to be transformed, or that issue that we're suffering or dealing with. So it's super, super transformative, you guys. And I just made a video on that. You can find it on my page. I also just posted it on YouTube as well, so you can go ahead and find that. I do have some questions that I wanted to answer, and feel free to ask any more if you guys have any. Hello, Mike. Hey, everybody. Welcome. So I just have a few here, but they're kind of like just random questions, so feel free to ask any more if you feel like it, or if you have questions on anything. I love to answer them, and I love to talk to you guys, so it's awesome. First question. Is it better to write in a paper journal rather than my phone? So that's a very good question, and I know a lot of people write in their dream journals, in their phones. Now, you'll definitely want to have a dream journal, because this is what is going to show your brain that it is important to remember your dreams. Therefore, it's going to access certain parts of your memory that aren't usually activated because you don't practice your dream recall. The memories that we've had during sleep and before sleep, our brain is going to learn how to access that and open it up, and we'll be able to remember our experiences, remember our dreams, remember our out-of-body experiences. So definitely grab a dream journal. That is very, very important. And you will notice after a couple days, you'll have much longer dreams. They'll be a lot more vivid, and you'll probably have some awesome experiences, even like a random out-of-body experience. For those who've never had one, or maybe even don't believe in it, just grab a dream journal. Maybe you'll have a random experience, definitely that is the key. That is definitely one of the most important steps. So is it better to write in a paper journal rather than a phone? Well, there's a few things that we want to mention here. So the reason why it is best to write in a paper journal rather than your phone is because the phone and computers and all of that eliminate blue light. So this blue light seeps into our subconscious and our brain, and it stimulates it so we can't go back to sleep. Now, if you're planning to just get up and you're not going to go back to sleep to do a lucid dreaming induction method, it's probably fine. But if you want to be safe, then it is good to grab a journal, have it by your bed before you even put your feet on the ground. Just write in your journal the date and the time, and then if you want to go back to bed, since you didn't stimulate your brain with all this blue light from technology, you can easily go back into the dream state. And since you built that awareness by getting up first, and when you go back in, you'll most likely be able to carry some of that awareness over and have a lucid dream. All right, Amber says, I keep forgetting to write them down. I wake up to my pups jumping on top of me. Yes, that is sometimes what happens. My dog does that as well, and sometimes we just have things we need to do first thing in the morning, or so what I would do in this case is I either summarize it in my journal, Amber, or I will write it in my phone and transfer it over to my journal later. So that's why a phone is good if you want to use it, because if you're in a hurry or you need to go, do something and you had a really long dream and you can't write it down, I would just jot it down in your phone, just summarize it, and then just writing down a little portion of it, your brain will be able to recall the rest of the dream. So just jot it down in your phone, and then when you can, just transfer it over later. Just don't let it build up in your phone, because I've just wrote it down on my phone for like 4 or 5 nights before, and then I have to transfer over 5 full dreams in my journal, and it can take a while. So just try to transfer it over as soon as you can once you put it in your phone if you're going to use that. But I definitely like having a paper journal because it's like a book of dreams, which sounds super cool anyway. But I have like a track record of all my dreams. Just, if something happened to my phone or anything like that, I would still have full track records of my dreams, and I probably have like 6 to 7 notebooks now full of my dreams. It's super dope to like go look back and like see what you're dreaming of, and some of the shit that I've seen has actually happened later. That's what's cool about writing your dreams down, because you'll look at something and be like, oh my god, that actually happened like shortly after I had that. So it's a really good idea to write down your dreams, and if you want to start lucid dreaming, becoming aware in your dreams and actually remembering your experiences, it's a very smart idea to write them down, even if you need to summarize them at first. I am actually planning on making a dream journal for you guys. So this is something that you'll be able to buy on Amazon. It's going to be a really big journal. It's going to have a spot where you can write your dreams down. It's going to have a little question at the top to check off if you were lucid or not. And then it's also going to have a spot where you can like kind of draw out your dreams. And this is really good for probing your brain to remember your dreams. And also it's showing some curiosity and excitement about dreams, which is automatically going to get you lucid more often. Because I notice as soon as I start looking into my dreams a lot. What's up, Mikey? Once I start looking into my dreams a lot and getting excited about it, I end up having random lucid dreams. So definitely write them down, get stoked about it, really look into your dream journal and what's going on there, and it will really make a big difference in your practice. Okay, how do I start remembering my dreams? That's actually what we just talked about. So getting a dream journal, and then as soon as you get up in the morning, ask yourself, what did I dream about? Even if it's hard to remember everything, jot down anything you can remember. If you don't remember any dreams, then just try to think about the last thought you had before you go to bed. And again, that's accessing the dream memory, which is going to help you remember more dreams the next night, and you'll just keep remembering more and more. Like now, I probably remember like 4 or 5, and then since I can kind of see what I dream about the most, I can start to set dream triggers. Okay, I dreamed that I'm in high school. Literally 80% of my dreams. So next time I dream that I'm in high school, I will know that I'm dreaming. And we're setting that subconscious trigger. That way we can become lucid in our dreams and use it for basically anything you want to, whether it is to just have fun and explore a 3D reality created by your mind, or you want to use it to understand yourself a little bit more, get rid of, fears, thought patterns, negative habits, addictions, anything like that, or just find out about what you're going to do in 10 years. See, future things that you've created. See, you can do this for music. If you write music, ask to hear music that you've created, some of your best work, and it will show you in the dream. And then you can actually, if you have really good dream recall from writing your dreams down, you can actually remember that and go write it in the morning. Because I had someone that was a painter, and they asked to see their best painting that they've ever done. Their subconscious showed it to them, they remembered it, they took it back and started painting in waking life, and it felt like they have already painted it before. And that actually went on to sell for the biggest painting they've ever done, the biggest masterpiece they've created. So our subconscious has a lot of information. So you can also ask to be, see what you're going to be doing in 10 years, what you're meant to do, what you should do in literally any situation you're going through. Super helpful. So my dreams shouldn't be remembered. Yes, sometimes it's weird to write some dreams in your journal, guys. So you can always summarize it if you need to, because I know some dreams are like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm writing this stuff. But it is good to write them down if you can. Remember that dream journal is yours, so not a lot of people are going to be looking through it as long as you keep it in a nice, safe place. And it's basically for dream work, right? We want to see what we're dreaming of, and we want to be able to work with our dreams, so it's good to write everything down. Hello, Carla. Thanks so much for joining. Thanks so much. I'm glad you guys are here. So the next dream journal we have, okay, I've been thinking about dreams a little bit, as you can tell. How real, no, the other one that's before that one is how long does it take for reality checks to work? I've had repetitive dreams of me in a canoe with deer skins and ice-covered mountains. That is really interesting. Yeah, definitely write that down. And another thing that I like to do is if I'm dreaming of something, I will be like, okay, if I was a director and I am directing this as a movie, what would it represent? And the first thing that you think of is most likely what it means, because that thought was already in your subconscious anyways, and that's the first thing you thought of. So it's a good sign that that is probably what it means. But if you learn to get lucid, you can actually ask the dream directly what it represents. And it'll be like, oh, this represents this represents this represents, you know, you should start trying to do this in your life. And you're like, oh, like I have all this information from myself. Like, it's so crazy. We can totally direct our lives based on what's in our subconscious. Our subconscious is intelligent, and it's not just stuck in this time and space. It has experienced things that we are yet to experience, things we don't remember experiencing. Everything is stored within our subconscious, so we can get a lot of information from our dreams. So that's really interesting. That's an interesting one. Let's see. Yeah, how long does it take for reality checks to work? So guys, it does depend on you a little bit and how much effort you put into them. So again, a reality check is checking our reality. We're checking if we're awake or asleep. And if we consistently remember to be mindful and critical in the waking life and check our reality, we'll start to be mindful and critical in our dreaming life and be able to realize we're dreaming. So it's a really good idea to make a habit of being mindful and doing reality checks, because you're literally making a habit of lucid dreaming. You're literally making it a habit of lucidity. So you can basically get lucid every single night. And do you know how much stuff you can do in your dreams, you guys? I know I talk about this so much, but there's so much you can do within a lucid dream. So it's definitely worth, you know, building that awareness, because once you have that awareness down, it's a habit. So you don't even have to do any lucid dreaming techniques. You literally can just get lucid anytime you want by implementing those tiny little habits. And it literally can take up to like, I had one client that literally got lucid the next day when I told them about this, and other people it can take like a week or two. So it all depends on how much you care about learning it and how much time you're putting into it. And you just have to have a curiosity about lucid dreaming, and then it will naturally happen for you. You can't make it seem like a chore. You have to make it seem like you're super excited to experience this. Oh my God, I'm so excited to go to bed because I have no idea where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do. Like, have that mindset about it, and then the subconscious will give you what you're excited about. Good. You write them down and you put in as much detail as you can remember. That is how you do it. Awesome. And then once you start doing that, even if you just remember one dream, you're going to notice that you start to remember multiple dreams a night. And we do have 5 to 6 dream periods every single night, which means we have 5 to 6 times a night, or chances a night, to get lucid. So definitely a good thing to write down your dreams as much as you can. Hello, Sherry. Welcome. So good job, you guys. Keep writing them down. I want to see books of your dreams. I want to see stacks of notebooks from your dreams. Okay, like I even have mine titled like 2016, 2017, and I just have this big box full of dreams, and it's so cool to just look back on them and see how our subconscious has grown and how much we have changed and how much our subconscious has evolved. You can actually see that within your dreams based on what your dreams are of and where your consciousness kind of was in the time, like what kind of frequency it was at. So it's really cool to see yourself grow in that way. And again, dreams aren't separate from this reality. They're really not. So it's really good to pay attention to your dreams, because it tells you a lot about what's going on in your mind now, what's going on in your life now, what you should start implementing. Like, it's literally your therapist, your coach, your friend. Like, the subconscious in the dream state is literally everything, you guys. And I went through a lot of stuff in my life that I haven't been able to solve besides lucid dreaming. Like, lucid, out of all the money I put into medications and doctor visits and all this stuff, and lucid dreaming, something I can do in my sleep, is the most effective medicine that I've tried for basically anything. Let's see, how real does a lucid dream feel? Now, I feel like some people are interested in lucid dreaming because they've never had one and they don't know how real it is, and they don't know what they can do through lucid dreaming. Like, I feel like as soon as someone has their first lucid dream, because it always happens, they'll be like, oh my God, I had no idea that lucid dreaming felt that real. I did not know that it was literally like I was there. And that's what I tell people. Like, even if you don't feel like you're into lucid dreaming, or you don't want to try it once, experience it once, and then tell me what you think. Because it's so mind-blowing. It's so mind-blowing what you can experience in that state. Literally anything. And it is as real as this reality. Like, I've been doing this for over 10 years, and I'm still as stoked as I was my first time to have a lucid dream. Every single time. It is a crazy adventure. And it, like, that feeling lasts for days. Like, that really euphoric feeling lasts literally for days, because it's so amazing. So yeah, it feels just like this life, or realer, because in this state, we're limited to our physical senses. Our physical body, our biology of how we are as a human can only intake so much information, which means that our senses are incredibly limited. But since we are dreaming and we are experiencing it through our subconscious, that is not limited. So senses are going to be heightened. So when you get back to your physical body and you are like walking around and just being normal, it doesn't feel right because you feel so limited. It's the same thing with an out-of-body experience. You see all that is. You see yourself for this true form, and then you get back in your body and it just feels so dense and heavy and limited. Like, it's pretty crazy. Like, it really changes, it really opens up your mind. And I believe that everyone who wants to experience it is meant to experience it, because your subconscious is in that kind of frequency for a reason, right? You ran into this information for a reason. And so I feel like you're definitely meant to experience it and have your own journey. It's so amazing. I teach people how to do it, and then I lead them on their own journey, because it's your journey and everyone's experience is different. What's up, Landon? Good to see you. So learn how to do it and go on your own experience, because it's seriously so incredible. So could I actually smell in a dream? Yes, Amber. This is what's so crazy. In a lucid dream, the smell is crisp and clear. Your eyes, everything is so vivid and crisp. Like, you can see the tiny little like lines on your hands, the hair on your arms. You can taste. That's one thing, is taste is extremely vivid within the lucid dream. That's why some people use lucid dreaming for weight loss, because if you go into the dream and eat like a chocolate cake or your favorite dessert, it's so real to your brain, because it is just like this real life, that it actually thinks that you just ate. So you'll wake up full, and you'll wake up without a sweet tooth or a craving for any of that. So every sense is heightened. Imagine becoming lucid right now. Like, what do you see around you? What are you experiencing around you? How real is it? Imagine that times at least 10. Like, so it's definitely more real than this reality that we're experiencing. Definitely more real. And I can't wait for you guys to experience that, because it's crazy. Yes. Yes, Amber. Even though our senses are limited, maybe someone is like deaf or blind, or maybe they can't smell properly, or any of these things. That's a physical body limitation. So when you go into the lucid dream, everything works beyond belief. Everything works. I know someone that my friend, they were born without, their legs were having a really hard time working, and so they've been in a wheelchair most of their lives, and I've taught them how to lucid dream, and they can actually walk, they can fly, they can experience full freedom. The pain that you feel in this waking state does not apply when you are in the dreaming reality. So all of these physical ailments that are holding you down in your physical life, they will not apply to you in your dreams. You are completely free, and again, you aren't experiencing life through your physical senses, through our natural human biology. It's through your mind's eye, through your subconscious. And so sensations and experiences are not limited by what we experience in this life. So yeah, it's very transformative, Amber. So I would totally try that out. Hey, John, welcome. Let's see. What is the easiest way to astral project? Got some sparkling water. I love sparkling water. People either hate it or they love it. I love it. Yes, I do have some steps that you can use to get to the state of lucid dreaming. So I'm going to give you guys the easiest way to get there right now. Yes, Amber, totally. You can, that's why I'm like, message me anytime you have questions or anytime you want to go over things, because like, anyone deserves to experience this. Literally, you'll feel so limited in this life. You have ultimate freedom, and we sleep for a third of our lives, so that's roughly 33 years you can spend in a dreaming reality. So basically, you're only living half your life if you don't lucid dream. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, the steps to getting lucid, there's 3 things I recommend. Dream journal, because that's what's going to help you remember your dreams, and that's going to get you to remember long, vivid, crisp dreams, so you can actually get lucid in them. So number 1, dream journal. Number 2, you want to look for dream signs. So look back in your dream journal, see what you're dreaming of the most, and look for themes. That way you can set a subconscious trigger, like, oh, okay, yeah, this would never happen, but I'm dreaming of this a lot, so this must be a dream. And when you see it in the dreaming reality, once you build enough awareness, you're like, oh yeah, I remember that if I saw this again, then I'd be dreaming. And then you build that awareness. So dream journal. look for dream signs, and then reality checks. So this is the big one, because this is going to create a habit of lucid dreaming. Because once we create a habit of being aware of our surroundings and critical of our surroundings, we will be aware and critical within our dreaming state. And obviously a ton of weird stuff happens in our dreams, right? Constantly. And that's our brain trying to tell us that we're dreaming. So once we become aware within the dream and we start doing reality checks, we'll easily be able to tell when we're in a dream. So I'll give you a couple of my favorite reality checks, and you're going to want to do these at least 10 times a day. You want to be in the double digits with this, because we want it to be a big part of our daily life, because that way it will seep into our dreams. So I would recommend counting your hands. The reason why you count your fingers is because if you look away and look back and do it again in the dream has a very hard time at replicating what you just saw, and so things are going to be different. Even though things might look totally fine, I have 10 fingers, I can see the lines on my hands, everything looks good. If I look away and I look back, something is going to be different. My hands are going to be blurred, I won't have enough fingers, I'll have too many fingers, my hands will be someone else's, like something will be off. And then you'll immediately realize that you're dreaming. So throughout the day, you want to count your fingers, make sure you do it twice. The other one I really like is trying to push your palm through your hand. Some people might think that you were doing this in public, so you either can just not give a shit and just do it, or you can kind of just sit at your desk or wherever you are and just kind of push on your hands and observe them. You can be low key about these things. You don't have to try to jump and see if you'll fly. I know that's a reality check people do, but you'd have to literally jump up and down 20 times a day, and that's a little more noticeable than just counting your fingers or trying to poke your finger through your palm. So that's definitely something to try. And then another one I really like to do is plugging your nose and then breathing in, because if we're in the dream, we're not using our physical nose, so we'll still be able to breathe just fine through our nose, even if it's plugged in waking reality. So if we make a habit of that, okay, I can't breathe through my nose, so obviously I'm awake, and do a couple of reality checks. Once you go into the dream and you make this a habit, you're going to close your nose and try to breathe in, and you'll be able to breathe just fine. So those are ways that you can tell if you're dreaming or not. You're basically trying to do something that would be impossible in waking life. So this would be impossible to do if I was awake. Having more fingers would be impossible if I was awake. Breathing through a closed nose would be impossible if I was awake. So you want to do those kind of checks. And it really doesn't take too long. As soon as I started doing them and I started showing my brain that it was important to remember them, then it took me 2 or 3 days, and then I dreamt of counting my fingers, and then I realized I was dreaming. The only thing is, don't get too excited when you realize you're dreaming, because it's super overwhelming, because it's so real and vivid, and that could cause you to wake up really fast. So just practice meditation before bed, or close your eyes when you're in bed and imagine becoming lucid. How good does it feel to become lucid? I'm in this vivid reality, I just realized I'm lucid. How does it feel? What does it look like? Put yourself through that whole process through visualization, and then it will happen in your dreams as well. So just make sure it's a consistent habit, you guys. Write in your dream journal every day, even if you didn't remember much, even if you just remember a tiny bit. We need to show our brain that these things are important, and then they'll start to occur more. So we're just setting new habits, basically, and reprogramming our brain for lucidity, because some of us can lucid dream naturally, but some of us, we have to train ourselves. So it's just like any other skill. We're building the skill of awareness and lucidity, and building the skill of being able to control our dreams. And that's a super cool skill to have. And once you learn it once, you can do it for basically your entire life, and it can literally change your life. It can change your health, your habits, your thought patterns. It can literally shape you as a person in any way that you see fit. I'm not even kidding. Lucid dreaming is absolutely amazing, you guys. And a lot of people don't talk about the healing aspects of lucid dreaming. I don't know if they just don't know about it or anything, but even on YouTube, there's not too many. And that's why I want to make content around that, because it's seriously changed my life and basically everyone that I've helped learn this skill. I'm even working with people who suffer from bipolar disorder, physical pain, PTSD, anxiety, any of that. It can literally treat, because the placebo is the only thing in medical history that has been able to treat every single illness, right? Because it's placebo, it's literally within our brain, and you have access to that within the lucid dream state, because it's our subconscious. So that's why I know that it works for all of this. I 100% know that it can change people's lives. So super amazing. Oh yeah, what's the easiest way to astral project? So I'm going to give you guys a method really quick, and I also talk about this in my sleep paralysis video, but I want to give you guys a method for everything to try. So right now I'm going to talk to you about how to get into sleep paralysis, how not to fear it, and how to use it for an out-of-body experience. So this can be really easy, you guys, and I don't want to make you go through tons of information online because there's some things that aren't true and some things are true, and trying to fish your way through all this information and create something is kind of hard to do sometimes. So I'm just going to give you the information that's worked for me and worked for people that I've coached and go from there. So how do we want to do sleep paralysis? First, we want to make sure that we have a little bit of sleep under our belt. So I would say wake up after about 4.5 to 6 hours of sleep. The reason why we do this is because we're wanting to wake up in REM, which stands for rapid eye movement stage of sleep. This is the stage of sleep where our body is paralyzed because it doesn't want us to act out our dreams. So that's also the state in which we dream in. So if we can wake up in that state, as soon as we go back to bed, we're going to go back into that state. And if we can stay conscious of it, we'll be conscious of our body falling asleep, aka sleep paralysis. So after about 4.5 to 6 hours of sleep, or at least 2 hours before you normally wake up, you want to get up. You want to stay up for about 15 to 30 minutes. The reason why we do this is because we are building awareness within our subconscious. If we went directly back to sleep, we would just fall asleep because we haven't built up that awareness. So we're staying up. We're not getting on our computer or doing anything because that builds up blue light from technology. So we just want to write in our journal. We want to read a book. Maybe we want to meditate or just use some affirmations. Anything you want to take up that 30 minutes, do it. And then we're going to want to go back to bed. We're going to want to lay on our back. We want to lay on our back and either have a sleeping mask or make sure the room is very dark, because that way our brain won't be stimulated and we'll be able to go into the sleeping state faster. But we're going to do it consciously. That way we can witness our body falling asleep. You're going to want to take 3 deep breaths. You're going to inhale and you're going to exhale. Every exhale that you do, you want to imagine that you're sinking deeper and deeper into your bed. So we're almost doing like a self-hypnosis kind of thing. So you're going to do that 3 times, and then you're going to want to stop. The reason why you're going to want to stop is because when our body falls asleep, our diaphragm naturally collapses a little bit, and so we don't need to take in as much air. So if you keep breathing really deep, you're basically telling your body, oh, I'm not asleep, and so it's not going to paralyze you if it thinks the mind's awake. So we basically got to trick the body into thinking that we're asleep. And that's why a lot of people think that like demons are sitting on their chest or someone's holding them down in sleep paralysis, is because their diaphragm is collapsing very slightly when they're going into sleep, because our body doesn't need to take in as much air. And that sends a fear signal to our brain because we don't know what's happening, and then it creates a fearful experience just based on our thoughts. So don't worry, that's not anything, unnatural. Like, that's just the diaphragm. Completely let it go and just breathe very shallow. How you know you're about to fall asleep is because also our body temperature drops when we're going to sleep. So I will feel literally a wave of cold chills go down my entire body. And so I know that I'm getting really close when that happens. And then I'm going to start to feel very heavy, starting from my feet and my legs. And I'm going to feel, it literally feels like someone's pushing on your body because it feels so heavy. Or like you have weights on your legs. That's a good sign that your body's falling asleep. So don't move, don't do anything, don't itch, because your body's going to do what's called the rollover signal. So it's going to try to get you to roll over and itch and move. And that's your body trying to be like, hey, brain, are you awake? We want to send the signal that we're asleep, so we're not going to respond to those signals. We're not going to move. We're not going to roll over. And then it's be like, okay, the brain didn't respond, so the brain's asleep. I'm going to paralyze the body now. So we're basically tricking our body into thinking we're asleep by not responding to those signals of, the rolling over, itching, moving. And they get really intense. So just try to power through it, because it won't last forever. And then you're going to feel very light tingling or really high-pitched noise in your ear, and then you're going to go into sleep paralysis. A lot of people are scared about sleep paralysis, but it's just because of, not knowing what's going on. And so, again, that is we're in a thought-responsive state. And so that's going to, if we're sending fearful thoughts, it's going to create our experience. So just have a really childlike curiosity about it. Like, once you learn the science behind it and you can see the process happening, it's really enjoyable, and that it's literally scientifically verified, so it's not anyone in your room, or you can see the process. Oh, this is the vibrational state. Okay, the diaphragm's doing this. You can kind of walk yourself through the experience. Now, once you get here, if you wanted to experience a lucid dream through the sleep paralysis, all you have to do is watch the hypnagogic imagery, so the colors flowing around your eyes, and then try to vividly imagine the perfect dream that you want to have. So you're going to turn those colors you see into a dream. So you basically just vividly imagine. I call it visualization and sensation, because that's what creates an out-of-body experience or a lucid dream. Visualizing as much as you can what's happening and imagining the sensation of being there. So what do you feel? What do you taste? What do you smell? What do you touch? What's around you? That's going to create a lucid dreaming experience, making it super real for yourself within the sleep paralysis state. So do that, and then you'll start to see those colors kind of form around you, and then it will create a dream from there. And then if you want to use it for an out-of-body experience, you're going to want to imagine rolling out of your bed. And again, it's visualization and sensation. You want it to feel as real as possible rolling out of bed. You want to feel every second of rolling out of bed. What does the bed feel like? How hard is it to get up? Like, what does it feel like once you touch the ground? What do you see right in front of you? And what this is doing is shifting your consciousness from your physical body to your energy body. Because again, your brain can't tell what's imagination and what's real. So if you make it super real for your brain is going to think it's actually happening, and your consciousness, your point of awareness, is going to shift from your body to your energy body state. And you can tell when you're about to astral project because you will start to see through your closed eyes. You will start to see through your sleeping mask, which is a really crazy sensation. You can feel the sleeping mask on you, but you can start to see around your room and see everything crisp and clear. And that's when you know that your mind has shifted from your physical body to your energy body. Now you just have to will yourself out, and just the intention and the visualization and sensation of rolling out of your body is going to cause you to have an out-of-body experience. So that's the easiest way inducing sleep paralysis, and that's literally a gateway for being able to sleep better. If you have a hard time sleeping, you can wait until your body's in sleep paralysis and then let your mind fall asleep after. That will stop you from rolling around every single night. Plus, we're learning how to use the rollover signal and not giving into the rollover signal. A lot of people have insomnia because they sit there and toss and turn anytime they feel like they need to, but you need to ignore those signals so you can trick your body into thinking that you are asleep. So you can use that for insomnia, lucid dream, or an out-of-body experience. Hey guys, welcome. So that's the easiest method that I use to go out of body, and I also use that for lucid dreaming as well. So good thing to try. Can I get information about my life and future through lucid dreaming? Yes, you can. Yes, 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 you can. It will tell you everything that you need to know about your past, your present, and your future. And I'm not kidding. It will really tell you. You can access your Akashic records. You can find out what you're going to do in 10 to 15 years. You can find out what your life's path is, how your health is, what's going to be happening, like how to transform thoughts or addictions or things you're already going through. You can find out, how your health is, what's going on in your brain. You can literally find out anything from like an emotional, mental, psychological, or even physical level. So it's very, very informative to go through all of that, and it will literally tell you anything that you want to know about your life or how to resolve it. I mean, I suffered from something that they said was uncurable, gastritis and IBS and all of that. They said that I would have really immense physical pain for the rest of my life. And I mentioned that I was on lots of medication for this. I went to the ER a lot. I went to every doctor that you can imagine, and this lasted for years. And the only thing to stop that was learning lucid dreaming. That was the only thing that I was able to use to heal me from those things. So yes, information about your life and your future and your past can be brought to you through lucid dreaming, and you can use all of that information to transform your life, whether it is accessing your Akashic records or seeing what you're going to be doing in 10 to 15 years. You can really find out anything. And even before my friend was a painter, she asked what she was meant to do with her life in a lucid dream, and she got taken to, I can't remember the name of the movie, but the entire world was a painting. And she was literally able to touch the trees and everything, and it was literally like dripping paint. And she didn't really understand what this meant. But then when she woke up, her mom actually got her a set of paints and all of that for her birthday, like a couple days later. And she didn't even know that she wanted to be a painter. And she tried it for the first time, and she absolutely fell in love, and now she's selling paintings all over the world. So our subconscious tells us a lot of stuff that we don't even know yet. So yes, it's very amazing and transformative to learn that practice. Hello, Laura. Thanks for joining. So yes, like I said, lucid dreaming can do anything. Lucid dreaming is used if you want to explore your subconscious, and astral projection is used if you want to use your subconscious to experience outside of yourself. How did I make that connection to heal myself? So I reached this point of I thought I was going to be stuck with it forever. Like, I literally gave up energetically. I was so distraught that like I'm going through all this pain and I felt like no one was listening to me, and like doctors didn't seem like they were taking it seriously, and I was in so much pain. I just felt like no one understood. And so I told myself, you know what? Screw it. Like, I'm going to find a way to do this myself. Like, I know that I have the power from everything that I've, studied and experienced, and I'm going to find a way to do this. And I was already lucid dreaming at the time, and I would ask dream characters for advice, and I would just go there. It's like an outlet, and it's literally like a second life to explore anything you want to. And so I figured I would just go into a lucid dream and ask a dream character what I'm supposed to do. And so I got into a lucid dream, and I was completely by myself. I was on the street. It was very beautiful. There was tons of trees out. It was very bright and blue, and I could feel all of these sensations. And I just called out to the dream, I want to heal my stomach. And then a white truck parked across the street, and a man got out, and he walked over, and he almost looked like Archangel Michael. He looked like a very kind being. And he said, hey, I'm here to help you heal your stomach like you wanted. So I was like, oh my God, yeah, okay. And so we started walking down this path, and he took me to this swimming pool in some random person's backyard. And he said, okay, this is a healing pool of water. If you get in this water, you will be healed of your stomach issues. And I was like, okay, sounds good. And so I got into this water, and it was as vivid as this reality. It was super, super real. Every sensation, like, it was so real. I could feel the sun, like the wind. I could hear it on my ears. I could feel the coolness of the water. And I just said, thank you for my healing. Thank you for my healing. And I really tried to manifest this healing in a way once I was in the water, and just like in such good spirits, like really just trying to put out the right energy to receive that healing. Just thank you for my healing. Thank you for my healing. And then I remember that it faded. We got out, and like he went into the person's house to go get like popsicles out of the fridge or something, and then like we left. And then I remember the dream faded after that. And then when I woke up, that was the first day in 6 years that I didn't have stomach pain. And guess what? It's still going. Like, I still haven't felt anything. And it's because placebo was so strong within the dream. Like, even placebo has gotten rid of tumors if you've looked into medical history. They'll give them a sugar pill and tell them that it's something, and will completely heal them, because the placebo, our belief, is so much more powerful than external sources of medicine or external beliefs. Like, our belief to heal ourselves, or our belief that something's going to happen, makes it so. And so when I woke up, I started crying, because I get woke up from the pain because it's so bad. And I woke up from having an amazing lucid dream that actually healed myself. Like, actually, like, I got healing from. So it's super incredible. That was definitely my favorite dream, just because it was actually like literally healing. And that's what kind of got me started on helping others, because I started kind of doing challenges, like, okay, like, if I can physically heal myself, let me try, like, anxiety and depression, nicotine addiction, let me try. And it was just like knocking things out. Like, I was able to get rid of all of these things that was holding me back, and things that were holding other people back. And that's why I'm still so excited about it, because it's absolutely amazing. And I have such a passion to teach people about this, because it has truly changed my life, and it's so fun, and it's so fun to talk about. And like, the community around lucid dreaming and like spiritual practice in general is so loving, and so it's really, really fun just to talk to people, and have them try things they haven't tried before. And like, people's amazement when they get into a lucid dream, like, that, it's just so fun. Yeah, Carla, it's so cool. Like, that was definitely my favorite one, and like, it was the most transformative for me. I still remember every single second of it. And after that, that's when I was like, yeah, I got to start talking about this. Like, usually before, I just kind of kept my experiences to myself, but I was like, no, like, that was the craziest thing I've ever experienced. And so I got to start talking to people. And I ran into certain people that had the same issues as me, or maybe different issues they were going through, and we would kind of talk, and we'd start lucid dreaming together, and report to each other in the morning. Okay, I got lucid, I did this and this and this, what did you do? And we would talk about the plans we had in lucid dreams. And to be able to like transform your lives as a hobby with your friends, and just do something like that, and learn mindfulness and how to heal your life, like, it's a really cool thing to be a part of and to talk about. So yeah, very transforming. Let's see, how long have you been lucid dreaming? So the first lucid dream I remember was probably when I was like 6 or 7. And that's again what we were talking about. Like, you do get lucid a lot in nightmares sometimes as children because you're trying to wake yourself up, you know. But my first like official lucid dream was when I was around 11. And so I've just been doing it ever since. And now that I know how to do it, I kind of just set challenges for myself. Like, okay, let's see if this is possible. Let's see if I can get rid of this fear, this phobia. Let's see if I can send information from my dream to this person's dream, and just all these fun, like, kind of creative experiments. So that's what I'm kind of doing now. In out of body experiences, I kind of surrender more. I kind of let the out of body experience lead me, because a lot of like beings or entities or spirit guides or anything will be on the other side, and I kind of just surrender to that experience because like I just feel like I need to be open and receptive in those experiences. But with lucid dreams, since we already kind of let it do its own thing, with regular dreams, I think it's good to take control of our lucid dreams and use that for life transformation and healing. And then I use just astral projection to experience what I meant to experience. So I kind of get into them the same way, but I have completely different experiences and goals for each one. So it's kind of cool. One thing I'd recommend you guys is to try meditating in a lucid dream or an out-of-body experience, because again, we've talked about it's over 7 times more powerful to do it in a dream state or an out-of-body state, and you reach a very high level of like euphoria. It feels like a taste of enlightenment or something. It's the most euphoric feeling you've ever felt just meditating. I heard this Buddhist monk once say that meditating for 5 minutes in a lucid dream is like going on a 30-day meditation retreat in real life. Like that's the impact it has on your brain. So even if you don't meditate that much, or you feel like you can't hold still, or you're one of the ones that kind of your mind's constantly running, I would recommend meditating in a lucid dream, because that's also reprogramming our brain to be able to meditate and be able to stay calm and aware. So building those habits in the lucid dream is a really good thing to bring them back to real life. And again, skills, like what do you guys want to learn? Like, do you want to get better at singing? Do you want to get better at painting? Do you want to get better to talking in front of an audience? Do you want to get creative ideas for videos or art? Or do you want to, like, what do you guys want to learn, and like what skills do you want to practice? Even driving. You can do all of that in the lucid dream, and since your brain can't tell between imagination and reality, it's actually learning. And the same neurons that are firing when you're lucid dreaming and practicing something are the same ones that fire when you're awake. So your brain is actually learning while you're asleep, and you'll wake up and you'll have more skill than when you went to bed. And I think that's crazy, because they even did sports science studies on this, where they would actually have people run and do squats and lift weights and all of this in their dream. They'd wake up and they'd be able to do more than they could the day before, just through practicing through dreaming. So this is even used like in science and sports, and this has been used for thousands of years in Tibet and like India. So like it's constantly expanding, and people are using it for all different sorts of things. So I think it's a really, really cool, transformative thing to try. And if you guys want to learn more about how to be able to do that, of course, I have a YouTube channel at The Lucid Mystic. I have my coaching page, The Lucid Mystic, Altered States and Spiritual Life Coaching. I have my page for lucid dreamers or anyone who wants to lucid dream. That's called Haylee Lynn's Lucid Dream Team. Then I also have a 7-part video course on lucid dreaming. If you are kind of starting from the beginning and want to work your way up from remembering your dreams all the way to being able to control them at will and have them spontaneously, that's a good thing to check out. It's called Lucid Dreaming Made Easy. I can also link that down below. And I just want to kind of go live for a little bit with you guys, because I'm just feeling super inspired right now with the whole lucid dreaming practice and like expanding consciousness and talking about this with people. And so I just kind of wanted to share that. And if you have nightmares, or you are going through nightmares, or want to learn more about how to transform them, I just created a video on that called Nightmares, What They Are and How They Can Heal Us. I've been working on my levitation skills during conscious dreaming. Awesome, John. That is so cool. Yeah, it's crazy what you can experience within the lucid dream state. And I mean, our brain is constantly learning within this state. And so it can bring back a lot of life transformational information, or just healing that we've, done through lucid dreaming. Whether you practice spirituality or whether you don't, and you just want to learn lucid dreaming, anybody can get anything from lucid dreaming. So, seriously, like whether it's skills or just transforming your sleep, or whether habits. I know I talk about it so much, but it's like I constantly try to narrow it down to what people could experience. Because if I had to write down everything that someone could do in a lucid dream, or something that everybody could I wouldn't be able to write it down because there's so many things, like basically everything. I would have the biggest book ever if I had to write down literally every single thing that someone could do or experience within a lucid dream. So definitely, whatever it is you want to work on, definitely try it out. If you have questions about how to transform something or how to work on something specific, make sure to message me and we can create a game plan for you and start to get you lucid and get you going on your journey. So I'm going to end it right now, you guys, but I'm so happy that all of you guys came out. It's really, really good to talk to you guys again. And I just was feeling super inspired, and I just wanted to hang out with you guys for a little bit and answer some questions that I got. I will be making another video soon. I know I just barely put 2 out in the past day, but I'm going to make some more soon. And definitely let me know if there's any topics you want me to cover, because it doesn't just always have to be about lucid dreaming. We can talk about something else as well, or any questions you have, or anything you want to mention, anything you're going through. You can also share some of your guys' cool experiences, and I would love to talk about those as well. Yes, exactly. I've been able to bring things back to life in the waking world. That's why they're very connected. The dream state and the waking state, they're super connected. They're very, very, very important, and they're intertwined beautifully. Hey, Laura, thanks for joining. Yeah, so really anything you work on within the dream, you're basically saving that information in your subconscious and waking up with that life transformation and healing. So it's very, very, very beneficial to start lucid dreaming if you want to gain access to a third more of your life. If you want to live for another 33 years and be able to practice stuff and learn things and explore in a world that doesn't apply to, the physics that this world applies to, if you want to be completely free of all limitations and boundaries for 33 more years of your life, definitely learn lucid dreaming, because this is giving you a lot of your life back. A lot of us just sleep like a log, like some people call it, but why don't we sleep like trees? Why don't we sleep consciously and alive and be able to heal ourselves and understand ourselves more? Once you start lucid dreaming, you'll definitely be able to understand yourself a lot more, and a lot of things in your life will start to make sense, and you'll be able to just feel very comfortable knowing that you always have your guidance and your adventures, and it gives you a lot of respect for yourself, because everything that you're experiencing in your dreaming life is you. And I do believe in something called the 1%, where 99% of the information you experience is from you, but there's that 1% of intelligence that's outside of ourselves. And so this is how a lot of the things from future experiences and all that, I feel like that's kind of how it comes into our dreams as well, because I've received information from something that hasn't even happened yet, and it literally happened the way that my dream said it would. So there's this mysterious kind of level of intelligence that is really fun to explore within the dream. But we're definitely going to come back. We're definitely going to talk more about dreams. Definitely let me know if you have any questions or experiences you want me to talk about, or even just topics that you want to cover. I love everything related to dreams, consciousness, reality, the universe, spirituality, metaphysics, Buddhism, all of that, everything, and especially sleep. Sleep is such a crazy, mysterious, transformative part of our lives, and we don't even really know why we sleep exactly. So it's really cool that a lot of these experiences happen within that kind of sleeping state. So thank you guys so much for coming out. It was so good to see all of you. I really appreciate it. Again, go check out my new video if you haven't. It's on nightmares. It's on YouTube. It's also on my page. And I will make another video soon, and I will definitely make sure to go live really soon as well. All right, guys. Love and lucidity. All right, take care.